Settling in very well. I'm loving it here. I'm glad to be coming sooner. And I remember when I was at TCU and I was playing against y'all, and it was this felt just like the right place to come.
How did the process come with finally deciding to come to Oklahoma?
Actually, on my first official visit here, it was my first visit here. My mom was like, at the end of the visit, she was like, either you're going and I'm going with you, or I'm just gonna go by myself. So that was kind of already a deciding factor.
What was it that stood out?
For my mom, it was a family-oriented environment, and for me, it was the same thing, but it was also what I could do in this defense.
What's it been like getting to learn from Venables so far, and Zach?
It's been great. It's been amazing. I feel like out of all the head coaches I met, VB, he's probably most definitely the best one, because he's just such a hands-on coach and not like a CEO-minded head coach where they're just watching practice. Like, no, he's getting in practice. He's gonna be chewing people out if they're doing the wrong thing, and it's something that I love about this place.
What is it specifically about the defense that attracted you?
It was Bates and his coaching, and then knowing that VB, he's not gonna let me down either as a head coach. And knowing I have him in my back pocket, and Coach Bates, I have him in my back pocket as well.
You got to spend time with Coach Bates now, not just throughout the transfer process, but now actually going through film and then a little bit the first few days of fall camp. How's that been, and what's your relationship like with him?
Me and him are very close now. He's a very funny dude when outside of football, and then during film and everything, he gets serious, and that's when I actually have to lock in and just make sure I listen, and I'm the most coachable I can be.
You said reference to what you could do in this defense. What do you think that is? What do you think your
I feel like in this defense I have no limitations at all, in a sense. Like, I can do anything and everything that Coach VB and Coach Bates asked me to do.
What do you think that'll be? Like some examples? Rush the passer more?
Yeah, just everything. Like rush the passer, be a run stopper, just everything.
Okay,
How good do you think this defense can be?
Number one, and that's the goal.
What do you see out of this defensive line? What kind of style do you think you guys can play?
Everything you put your mind to be honest. There's not gonna be no stopping us.
You feel that confident, even obviously with some of the guys returning. You're a new guy, but what about those newcomers, the Jaden Jackson of the world?
They're gonna be great. I promise you that. I'm so excited to see them play too. It's just like, it gives me chills right now talking about it, because knowing that OU is in their hands in the next coming couple of years is going to be something amazing.
What are some examples of things you've seen from those guys on the field early on? I know we're early in camp, but have they done anything that really kind of blown you away?
They're just doing a lot of things that veterans can do, and it's just like me and them. We still have to learn the playbook and everything like that, but it's just seeing the skill level and the talent that they have at such a early age. It's amazing.
Without going into specifics, obviously learning the playbook here under Brent Venables and Zach Alley, what's that like in comparison to what you were used to at obviously TCU?
I can say it's maybe just a little more challenging, only because there's so much more that goes into play with this defense. And I feel like at TCU it was just a little more that you're gonna be here, you just do what you gotta do, and then that's it. But here it's going to be that you gotta look at your keys for sure.
How much do you embrace the expectations that come along with you being so sought after being in the transfer portal?
I just take one day at a time. I mean, call my mom every day just to see her smile and just hear her voice sometimes, just to make sure that I'm still locked in on my goals.
You got your first taste of Smitty. What was that like for you?
He's a very interesting dude. I mean, I love the dude. He's amazing. I can't say it's a lot more running here than I was used to, indeed, but he's an amazing guy.
What do you think his workouts do for you and your athletic ability?
It definitely made me faster. It made me I can cut a lot more better, in a sense.
What's your favorite? I'm sorry. What's your favorite part of the game?
Being with my guys. I mean, football's about making plays and everything, but that comes with doing your job. It's really just about building these relationships, seeing like the JJs and the Stones just grow up and become the man that they're about to be. And it's just seeing their smile every day and going through trial and error with them, that's what gives me life sometimes.
Some guys, it's like, hey, I'm tying up guys for the linebacker to clean up. Other guys get in the backfield, make plays, change the line of scrimmage. What are you?
Definitely both. Yes, sir. It's definitely both in this defense.
How excited are you for that first home game here?
Very excited. I heard that. Wait, is that true that almost all of our games are sold out.
Yes.
Is that true? Yeah. See, that's crazy fans now. We weren't used to that at TCU. There's some games where it's just like you know, but here almost every game sold out. Appreciate the fans, indeed.
Dominic, what's your relationship been like with Dejon so far?
Oh, that's my guy. Yes, sir. He. When I moved in, he was the one that came and visit me, just to let me know that he got my back, whatever I need. Let's see. And my mom was there when I moved in as well, so he talked to her. It was great vibes.
What have you learned from him so far?
Everything I need to know. Yes, sir.
Dejon's a post-spring portal addition. Have you guys talked about what that's like to kind of get up to speed through the summer and the fall without having spring practice?
Yes and no. I mean, he helped me to like it's a simple defense. Once you actually break it down and put all the plays into families and everything like that, it's yeah.
Dominique, the offensive line of this team is being talked about as a question mark. You go against them every day. Kind of talk about that group. And
they're going to be great. Yes, sir. Without a doubt. So all those doubts about our O-line, y'all can just stop that because I'm telling you, this defense and this offense is going to be something surprising.
What have you seen from Branson?
Oh, he's gonna be good. He's a very quick center, and he's very smart too. And once he get his power with his speed, yeah, he's a great center.
You played him last year. What was that like?
Can't lie, me and him, we hated each other. But I'm glad we're on the same team now, and we get to go against each other in practice every day.
You're a newcomer. You're still a new guy here. Obviously, what 2, 3, 4 months you've been around here. But how has the team, I guess, looked at you as far as like maybe a leadership role at this point?
I can say that Smitty, he definitely threw me in the fire and having to take a leadership role, but having this team just embrace me with open arms. As soon like from day one, VB had me get up on the podium and speak to them. And me, I get a little nervous when I have to speak publicly. I start sweating and they were just like laughing, but they're like, it's all good, bro. Just take your time, do what you got to do. And just having them behind me, it's just, I love it.
What about Grayson? How's Grayson been? The relationship with him? What's he been like on the field?
So me and him, we actually knew each other in high school.
Okay.
And we went to a rival camp together and everything like that. So me and him, we're close. Me and Champ, I think that we're a little bit closer because we have this trainer named Nico Trenches back in Cali, and we were go to him every time with each other. So it's kind of just like he's more of a bro, like because we knew each other for so long. Yeah.
Anybody else on the team that you're particularly close to?
I would say honestly all the D-line for real, because it's like I was blessed enough to have someone at TCU to have him take me under his wing and tell me the wrongs and the rights and the do's and don'ts of college and college football. So that's what I'm trying to be to JJ and Stone, because it's like my goal is to give back as well, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Who was that for you at TCU?
Sony Misi, number 99, and number 71, Marcus Williams.
Has this process of transferring here, adjusting to the defense, has it been about what you expected? What has been different from what you expected?
It's been maybe a little bit tougher than what I expected, only because I thought I can come here and then get the defense right away, but that's not the case. It's a lot that goes into the defense. But once I got the guys like Lacey, DT, Sears, when they sat me down, they're like, all right, you got to get this. Sat me down, told me everything I needed to know. I'm like, okay, so it's a little more simpler in my head now than what it once was.
Having Lacey, he obviously isn't playing anymore, but what's that like?
Oh, he's a great teacher, indeed, and a great friend.
You mentioned wanting to be able to effectively rush the passer from the interior. How much of a challenge is it as a defensive tackle to be able to be a quality pass rusher?
It's a little challenging, but once you get your keys and your alignments and everything, it becomes a lot more simpler in a sense, because it's a game of just space. That's what football is. So it's like once you see the running back is in a certain position, that's how you know that sometimes the offense is going to slide a certain way, and that's when you got to adjust your body and your alignment to get to where you got to get to.
How much do you think it can improve a defense when you can get an effective pass rush down the middle?
A lot, indeed.
When you made the decision to go to OU, which coach did you tell, and what was the reaction on the other side of that on the phone?
Definitely Bates first. I told Bates, and then he was going nuts. Then next that I found out was Coach VB, and that's when he sent me that picture of him in the 52 jersey, and that's actually my Twitter. I think what is it? Is it like a little
header?
Profile pic?
Yeah, the header. Yeah.
You talked about that game last year. What do you remember from being
I remember the fans going crazy. There was this one fan in particular that just kept talking. Like, he just kept talking mess. And then one thing that stood out to me, I think it was like maybe third or fourth quarter. He was like, 5-2, we need a D tackle. Come home, baby. And I'm like, man, I'm never coming here. Like, what? Forget y'all. But then I saw Champ in Champ is Ashton Sanders, 55, and then Grayson, and we just talked. And I'm like, damn. So it could be a move, but I don't know, man. I don't like y'all right now.
When did you first seriously sort of entertain that thought and that idea?
Me and my mentor, we spoke, I think, around spring, the beginning of spring ball, and then he was just like, I mean, if you make the decision, I'm 100% with you all the time. Just know you can't go back on it, though. And that's when he was just like, yeah, if you think it's time, then it's time. So me and we finally spoke, and I'm like, yeah, big dog, I think it's time to make that decision. And then the first person I told at TCU was my D-line coach. But I love that dude. It's nothing but love for TCU and all their fans and all the players there. I miss y'all. I wish him the best this season.
He obviously, McFarland obviously has a history here in Oklahoma. What was his reaction whenever he found out? Obviously, you were just going to Oklahoma. Was he? It obviously had to be bittersweet a little bit, right?
Yeah. The connection kind of, because I don't think it's legal to text your coach while being at another school. So,
yeah.
But I feel like, when I told him, I was like, yeah, coach, it's time for me to part ways. And then I think we had maybe a 2-hour conversation. There was some tears. I miss that dude, but he was excited for me, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Sad to see me go. I'm sad to leave him, but yeah.
What do you think changed or clicked for you from making that call at the beginning of the season to after spring, all that stuff?
I'm sorry?
How did that process kind of evolve? Because a lot of people make that call right in December as opposed to...
Nah, so originally it was because Coach Gillespie, what happened. And once I heard that news, I would talk to a whole bunch of the defensive players. I'm like, well, what are y'all gonna do? 'Cause I wanted to stay for the longest, and then I'm like, even now I'm like, damn, it's crazy to see that I'm not in purple no more. So, but I'm glad to be in this crimson and cream. It was just, I didn't make that decision in December because of the love I have for my players. So I'm a real relationship type of guy. And it's I'd rather stick it out with them than go somewhere else. But then seeing what I felt like I couldn't, produce what I was most capable of producing, that's when I was like, yeah, it's probably time to go.
Ready to wrap it up with Dominic?
I guess the final question is, whenever you entered in the portal, did you expect just the attention that you got?
No, my mentor, he was like, okay, are you ready? Are you sure you're gonna be able to do this? It's gonna be some sleepless nights. I'm like, are you sure about that? I don't see what you're talking about at all. He's like, watch, I promise you. And then once they finally announced it, I'm talking about my phone glitched out, powered off by itself. It was just going crazy. And then I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to do, because she's my rock. Her and my grandma and my little brother. I don't know what to do, Mom. This is just too much attention, because I don't like attention. That's one thing I don't like. But she was like, Dom, this is what you deserve. This is what you work so hard. All those 3-hour drives and 3-hour drives back to practice and the camps and everything. This is what you deserve. So just embrace it, love it. Take those visits that you didn't get to take when you were in high school. And this is the time where you can show your little brother what football can do for him. So that's why I gotta go so hard, because my little brother, I gotta make sure that he knows right from wrong, and he sees what football is able to do for him in his career.
Appreciate you.